This is the plaintiff, Eve Stout. She says she and the defendant were planning on getting married, but 6 months before the wedding, he abruptly called things off. She was very hurt. She just purchased her wedding dress and also paid for the reception hall. Well, they don't give refunds with only 6 months' notice, and just because he walked out on their relationship doesn't mean he can walk out on the money he cost her. So she's suing him for the $4,557. She's now out. This is the defendant, Tamel Hilliard. He says he and the plaintiff had a joint bank account, so everything that was paid for the wedding came from that shared account. They both lost money on the wedding hall deposit, and that stinks, but what stinks worse is marrying someone who's not a good fit for you. Bottom line, sorry things didn't work out, but they're both out money. That's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. He's accused of letting down a lover.
All parties, please raise your right hand.
Welcome back to the People's Court. Next case on the docket. These litigants were engaged, but he called off the wedding. She's now on the hook for thousands of bucks. But the defendant says they both lost money. It's the case of with this ring, I do flee.
Thank you, Douglas.
You're
Eve
welcome,
Stout,
Yes.
you are suing your former fiance, Tamel Hilliard, for $4,557 that you say he owes you and refuses to repay. Talk to me and tell me what happened.
All right, me and Tamel was engaged to be married on April 7th, 2018. We had a certain agreements in place in reference to about back child support he had owed, a car note payment that needed to be
Tell
paid.
me about those. That's what part of your lawsuit is about, a loan for child support. What happened?
Right, Mr. Hilliard was looking to get a city job, and being on the city jobs, you're not allowed to have any debt. So
Well, you're allowed to have debt. You're just not allowed to be behind in your child support.
or any, at that point, at any.
Okay.
So because we together, and he's like, listen, when I get my tax return, Eve, I'm gonna give it back to you and stuff like that. When his tax return came, he ended up still owing some more, so I didn't end up getting it back. So he said when he get a job, he would start reimbursing me back.
Did he ever pay you back the $500?
No.
And according to you, you loaned him how much money?
I loaned him the $750 for one car note, and then about $1,307. $1,307.
Okay, do you have any proof of that?
Yes,
May I see the proof of that?
and that's to show that the car belongs to him.
What car were you driving, Tamel, at the time?
It was a 2010 Dodge Journey.
Okay, it certainly looks like payment was made from her account. What say you to that?
Yes, ma'am. She did. She did make a payment for the car, but I also paid her back for the child support and also the money that she had gave me for the car note.
Do you have any proof that you paid her back?
Yes, I do, ma'am.
May I see the proof? Let's see.
I gave her $4,000 last year, July 6th. I deposited a $4,000 check into my account, and then I transferred to a shared account that we had.
What was that for?
That was for the payment for the car note, also the payment for the child support that I asked her, could I borrow it from her, and I gave it back to her. I gave her a big lump sum. It was for everything that she said that I owe her. This is $4,000 she said I owed her last year as well, so I just went ahead and gave her $4,000.
In July?
In July of
All right,
last
now
year.
I do see a transfer from his account to your account in July for $4,000.
What account number is that, in July?
$4,000 went from his personal account into your shared account. And he's saying that was the payment for all the stuff she says I owed her.
No, it wasn't.
What was it?
That was money that Tamel, actually, what was that money for? I really don't recall $4,000 going into my account for anything for Tamel.
Okay, I'm going to show it
Can
to
I
you.
see?
It's in July, a $3,000 cash deposit on July 5th, and then a $1,000 cash deposit. Take a look, and then give her this, because she's going to say that's not on, my name's not on there, and that's the same account, and let me.
Okay.
Yeah, what
also-
happened between you two?
I've known her for about 8 years. I still love her to this day. It just things didn't work out.
You've known her for how many years?
About 8 years.
8 years?
Yes.
Who broke up?
I decided to break it up.
So she was not expecting it.
We was going downhill because we was in marriage counseling at the time for about maybe a month, and it wasn't working. We still was having the same issues and same problems.
What were the problems, like just generally?
It's just numerous problems with kids, with both our kids. She has her own kids. I have my own kids, as well as just everything in general, work-wise. That's it.
You had already obtained your wedding dress, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Better to find out now, right?
It's a lot of money lost, man.
I know.
A lot of time
know.
can't get back.
I know, but you're still young. How old are you?
36.
Yeah, you're young.
All right, she said this is her account number, and that this one isn't, even though her.
Well, your name's right on it. I mean, I don't.
My name is on it because of, or address.
No, your name isn't on it because of your address. I don't know what you're saying. This is a checking account, and it has your name on it.
So if he calls off the wedding, can she make him pay for the wedding dress?
She can't make him, but I sure would try.
Can she make it?
I don't think she can make him. Maybe like split it 50-50 if it's amicable.
What if he doesn't want to split it 50-50? What happens then?
He should just walk away.
Does he have to pay? That's the question.
Does not have to pay. He should, but he doesn't have to.
Okay, going inside the courtroom.
You guys like commingle your funds, you get all accounts together, and then someone asks the judge to sit here and decide from the day I decided to commingle my funds, figure out who put more money in there and who owes who what money. How can you ever expect courts to get involved in that? You guys commingle your funds. And then you know, it's well, I put more money in it than he put in it. So technically he still owes me 32% of the salad. And, you know, it's kind of bizarre that you're asking here for, you know, for him to pay $2,000 from the wedding hall. Apparently you guys lost $4,000 on the wedding hall, right?
Yes.
Okay. Wow, that hurts. And they didn't even tell you, well, if we re-rent it, we'll reimburse you? Nothing?
Yes, she did. And she sent me an email that they didn't get it reimbursed. I was emailing, talking to her on a regular basis.
What day was it supposed to be? April what?
April 7th.
What'd you do on April 7th?
Nothing.
No, that you can't do. You got to go out with like 20 girlfriends and get super drunk, okay? That's what you do, so you don't remember April 7th, okay? You didn't call, I would have gone with you. All right, folks, based on what is in front of me, I cannot order him to pay you $4,557. I just can't. It looks like $4,000 already went from the joint account, from his personal account into the joint account. It looks like your funds were commingled and paying for stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay. Verdict for the defendant.
Well, the plaintiff doesn't have the ammunition to prevail in court today. I'm sorry for you. It didn't work out so well.
Yeah.
You know, how are things with you now? Is it technically really all over between the two of you?
It's over, but we still speak. It's just the principle. I got my own kids, and that was money from my kids that I gave for you.
Okay. Well, sorry. You must sign a few documents on your way out of the courtroom. Mr. Hilliard, if you'll step out. I wanted to ask you, do you think is it definitely all over between the two of you?
It's over. I still love her. This is just out of hurt and anger. You know, I gave her the money back a long time ago, and it's all out of hurt and anger. That's all it is.
Well, sorry about this. Thank you very much. Okay?
All right, thank you.
Okay. Harvey?
Okay, Doug, well, there's such a thing called a gift in contemplation of marriage. And if you have a situation like that with like an engagement ring, then you would have to exchange money. But a wedding dress is not a gift in contemplation of marriage. The bottom line is they're right. Maybe he should pay to do the decent thing, but in reality, he is not legally bound.